Hello, my name is Steve Luck, and I'd like to welcome you to Psych 100Y, Introduction to Cognitive Psychology. The field of cognitive psychology focuses on the mental operations that allow humans to learn, think, act, and communicate. It includes topics such as perception, attention, memory, language, and thinking. Cognitive psychology is at the core of all contemporary psychology, and I think you'll find it to be a fascinating topic. This version of Introduction to Cognitive Psychology is a hybrid course that combines online and face-to-face activities. I used to teach Psych 100 as a traditional lecture course, but I was dissatisfied with having 200 students in a big lecture hall sit there and listen passively while I lectured at the front of the room. That's just not a good way to learn. So I created this hybrid version of the course. Instead of coming to 4 hours of live lecture each week in a lecture hall with 200 students and no real opportunity for discussion, you'll watch online videos of the lectures and then meet once a week for small group discussions. The small group discussions add a lot to the course, and they're not something we could really do in the traditional version of the course. Also, there are a lot of things I can do in an online lecture that I can't do in a lecture hall. For example, when we talk about perception, we'll take a field trip to my kitchen so that we can use real objects like this blender as examples of perception. We'll also spend some time in my kitchen talking about how each hemisphere of the cerebral cortex is like a sheet of pizza dough. Also, the lectures will be divided up into segments of about 5 minutes, which makes it easier for you to pay attention. You'll get a comprehension question at the end of these lecture segments. Research by cognitive psychologists shows that answering questions like these can help you retain the information you've learned and do better on exams. One great thing about the hybrid format is that when I'm not available to teach this class, other faculty can teach it using the same lecture videos and course structure. So someone else may actually be the instructor of record this term. The instructor of record will be responsible for organizing the discussion sections. Your section might be led by a teaching assistant or by the instructor. The instructor is also responsible for grading, for administering exams, and dealing with excused absences. We've been teaching the hybrid version of this course for several years now, and it's been really great. When I'm the instructor of record, I actually get to know many of the students, which never happened when I taught lectures to 200 students at a time. And most students like the hybrid format much better than a traditional lecture format. They like the fact that the lectures are divided into short 5-minute segments, and they like the immediate feedback they get when they answer a quiz question right after watching a lecture segment. They like being able to rewind the video if they miss something, and they like the flexibility of watching the lectures whenever they want. Of course, all of this flexibility and feedback means that you'll need to take responsibility for your own learning. There are multiple deadlines each week, and you'll need to schedule your time carefully to get all the online activities done. But that's how learning works. Professors don't just open up your head and pour in the knowledge. Learning is something that you do, and our job is to organize the course in a way that maximizes your ability to do the learning. And that's exactly what this course format does. We've found that the combination of short lecture videos and frequent quizzing allows students to learn the lecture material much better, leading to significantly higher exam scores. In fact, when we compare exam scores between the traditional version and the hybrid version, we find that the number of A's is doubled in the hybrid version. And the discussion sections make it possible for you to learn things that we could never even hope to teach in a traditional lecture course. Does this combination of online lectures, frequent quizzing, and face-to-face discussion sections sound like a lot of work? I can't lie, this course does take quite a bit of your time. However, most students find that the work pays off because they learn a lot and enjoy the course. And it's fun for the instructors and TAs to teach this course because we get to have a lot of direct interaction with students in the discussion sections. I hope you like taking this course as much as we enjoy teaching it.